Chess Master Rats at chess.com, continuing my video series on the correspondence team match played between my video lessons group and the team CARPE DIEM. This was played on board 158. Our man is rijeshk versus Genio 17. Rating advantage to us about high 1600s versus mid 1500s. And these two games are kind of interesting in the respect that we see a gross violation of the thing I'm really against and campaigning against, these rook pawn pushes. We're going to see 7 of the 8 rook pawn pushes these two games, and there's irony to the one pawn that was never pushed, as we will see. But let's go over the games, and we have bishop opening, and all of a sudden, what does white do? H3. Terrible move, okay? Absolutely terrible. I'm going to keep saying this because that's what it is. It's a terrible move. Black isn't even getting ready to put anything on G4. Why don't you develop a piece and castle and bring your pieces out and try to generate some play, okay? H3 does nothing. Okay, knight D7. Now, what black could play is knight F6, and if white decides he's going to, well, let's see, there could be a little trick here, because here's what black does. Whoa, look at that. See, let's develop a piece, okay? Now, here's the trick I'm talking about. Now comes the check. Now, where are you going to put the king? If you go back to E8, your queen gets taken, right? Queen gets checkmated, so to speak. And you can't go to F8, it's a fork. But black can just go to G8, and white's caught with his pants down. He's given up a piece for nothing. He just can't get his stuff in play quick enough. Let's see. C3, with the idea of giving a queen check. That shouldn't work. If anything, black has, well, let's see. Can't play G6 because queen B3 check, king G7, queen down here. Well, let's see. How about knight C5? That'll stop queen B3. What's white going to do? Play B4, D4? Well, you can bring the knight back to E6, and white's attack is over, kaput. Okay, these rook pawn pushes are terrible. They weaken your position, and they don't continue your development. And you're welcome to look at my video I made in my article. It's linked in the team match. It's linked in the thread that I'm updating the videos. Guys need to stop doing this, okay? It's bad. It's terrible. It's going to cost you games. Okay, so we still have 2 more rook pawns to push. Oh, there goes one. Was black planning to put anything on B5 or B4? Nope. How can anything get there? Answer, it can't. Was he trying to preserve his bishop? Well, how's black going to attack it? He can do a knight move. Okay, the bishop go to B3, and then if black gets ambitious with A5, yeah, then you play either A3 or A4. You make up your mind which to do. A3, terrible move. Look at this queen side. Get him in action. Okay. So we're going to see black playing A6 here shortly, but not just yet. And this is a good way to take back because you want to try to maneuver a knight to F4. Okay? But one thing I've just been discovering in a few games, and it's definitely true in these two, the plans that the players are concocting, because these rook pawns are vacating those squares, they're now putting their knights on those squares and redeploying them. This is a strategy that's simply not seen in master games. Why? Because masters aren't pushing their rook pawns up. Okay? But both sides are going to be doing this in the 2 games. Let's just watch it. Oh, there it goes. Okay, now C5. What does this do? It gives, well, it doesn't really weaken D5, but how about getting some development over here? Let's get the knight to G6, castle, get the knight to F4, get some play going, and then maybe these pawn weaknesses will mean something, okay? White has weakened his pawn structure. But now, black utilizes the H7 square instead of trying to get a knight to F4 where it's wonderfully posted. Well, you're pushing your rook pawns. Why not put a knight there? I guess This strategy is just unique, and I see it so much, and I'm trying my best to eradicate it. I need 10 million people to watch my video, though, I'm afraid. Okay, and when is black going to push his rook pawn? Oh, there it goes. And I'm just in hysterics over this, and I'm not trying to be insulting. I'm trying to make a point. This move serves no purpose, okay? White doesn't want to put a knight on b5. He can't do anything, okay? This is your action here. You want to put your queen on e8, then maneuver this knight to h4 so you can get it to a good square. I mean h5 so you can get it to f4, where it's applying pressure. That's what you want to do. a6, terrible move. Okay, rook b1, and now he gets it to the right square, and white decides to chase the rook out. I'm sorry, he didn't take the queen. Black now makes a blunder, and so does white. This move looks natural, but the square to get it to all along was f4. And white now misses a move that would have given him great winning chances. Pause the video, see if you can find it. Okay, if you've come back. What white played was rook f3. I mean, makes sense. Let's go attack the knight, okay? But rook f7 wins a pawn. Okay, first off, you're attacking this pawn, and second, you have a threat of bishop takes on h6. See, there's a reason why the rook pawn push is bad. Okay, the rook pawn push is bad because white could have a tactic to take it. Okay, if this rook pawn had ever been pushed, this king would be quite safe on g8, and black wouldn't have had to waste any time. Conversely, this rook pawn push here lured black into making a mistake. But you can't argue it's good. I was saying all along the knight needs to go to f4. But white misses his chance to win a pawn, and the game stays kind of even. And knight goes back, and now taking advantage of a pin. Okay. And they just do a little bit of maneuvering. But soon, white's going to make a mistake and turn a very even game into one that he should lose. And here it's coming. He's going to drop a pawn. And black is just up a clear pawn now with an outside pawn majority, and white doesn't have enough play here. So the game is now winning for black. And black collects another pawn. And here white makes a mistake and trades queens. You got to keep your queen on the board. Okay? It's your hope for perpetual check. And this just weakens the pawn structure further. And now white commits another blunder and just goes right into a lost king and pawn ending, and the game is history. Okay, so really white has no hope. I don't know why he's playing on, but we'll just run through the last few moves. And black is queening well ahead of white. And gave up your pawn. Oh well, it was a goner anyway. So black's still playing on. Don't ask me why, but now at this point, white resigned because it's checkmate next move. The only legal move is to play here, and that'll finish off the game. Okay, let's move to the other game. See what move number it'll start it at. We never know until we activate it. Hey, see, move 5. Why did it pick move 5? Well, we'll blame it on version 3. And did you see that rook pawn move? Stick before it flipped? Okay. Let's watch, let's criticize. Okay, even position. Uh-oh. Why? Why? Okay, I'm asking you, why are you putting that pawn there? White can't do anything with a bishop on b5, okay? He can't. As a matter of fact, you would want him to put a bishop on b5. Then you can put your bishop on d7 and trade off your bad bishop. Okay? Now it's white's turn. Uh-oh. Same thing goes. You want him to put a bishop here if that's what he's trying to do. Then you can trade off your dark squared bishop, which is your bad bishop. If you're trying to prevent knight b4 to preserve your bishop, a better way to go about it is to play Collie style and put the pawn on c3. That keeps the knight out, and it gives you some flexibility on this long diagonal. Your bishop could drop back to b1. Your queen can come up to d3, and maybe you can get a checkmate down here. That's one of the ideas behind this. But nope, white's going to push his rook pawn. Now it's black's turn. Hello, h6. Absolutely terrible move. It does nothing for black's game. Nothing. White's not trying to put anything on g5. And even if he got a piece there, it'd be taken. Okay? Develop a piece. Put your bishop on e7. And let white play knight g5. Take it. Boom. Okay? White is not planning to put anything on g5. Get your king castled. Don't weaken your pawn structure. Okay, so now, as I said, we're going to see 7 of the 8 rook pawn pushes, and there's some irony to the one that wasn't. So this pawn never gets pushed. Well, we'll talk about that irony here in a little bit. The game continues on pretty level, and we're going to see those little knight maneuvers I was talking about last game. Oh, there it goes. Going to head for b5. Okay, now black did succeed in getting rid of his bad bishop, so white has kind of a crummy bishop here. Doesn't really have much scope. And there it is on b5. Oh, there's the other knight going to h7. Guess where it's headed? It's headed for g5 in a moment. See, there it is. Oh, what a wonderful maneuver. Let's push our rook pawns and maneuver our knights like this. Doesn't lead to anything. The game stays pretty level. That develops the white queen. Thank you very much. And coming up, white's going to miss a chance for a win. We'll see it. Not just yet, but soon. Okay, not quite, but almost there. And not quite, almost there. And here it is. White to play and win. Pause the video. Okay, it's not the most easiest thing to see because it looks like you can't play it, but you can. The winning move is d5. And you say, uh-oh, that hangs a piece. Well, it does, but after you take this pawn, black's in a bit of a pickle. His queen's under attack by a pawn, and the queen is guarding d8. So black's going to drop some material here. Pretty much going to have to give up his queen for a rook. And he's got to be careful that he doesn't drop this rook on c7. White's threatening a queen d8 check. And after bishop back and pawn takes, white has a queen and a pawn for a rook and a bishop. More than enough to win. Okay, so white missed a win here. Let's back it up and find out what actually played. Okay, bishop c1. And now the problem with this move is it leaves white with a weak d pawn, but it does uncover an attack on the pawn on c6, and white does get an advantage as a result, but the win becomes more technical than anything. White is better here, but because of this weak pawn, it's going to take a lot of maneuvering. White should keep both rooks on the board, okay? But these are going to end up getting traded off, as we will see. And but at some point, white needs to plan for a d5 advance, just to give the rooks more scope and get some mobility for those rooks. Even then, the win is problematical with 4 pawns against 3 on the king side. But white's the one that gets to play it and have all the fun. Okay, so now white tries to penetrate on the c file. And now he's doubled on the c file. And now he's tripled on the c file. So, you know, if I was to tell you that white's going to have a lost game in about 3 or 4 moves, you'd probably laugh at me. But that's what's going to happen. Let's see what happens. But a good move would be rook e8. Let's just attack that queen, get ready to maybe penetrate down to the back rank. But white comes back here. But white still got the advantage, but black's looking for a little relief. And this is what I think helped black getting the rooks off. And now white outwits himself and gets creative and plays queen a8. And the whole point is that white's planning to play rook check and give a mate on g8. And the fact is that if black plays rook c1 check, he's going to lose his rook. So white thinks he's got it all covered. And here comes the irony I was talking about, the one rook pawn that wasn't pushed. Because black now has a completely winning game. And it's because white hasn't pushed his rook pawn. So here's a situation where white should have gone ahead and pushed that rook pawn. Would he have had this same position with a tempo down? I don't know. But black to play and win, pause the video. Okay, there's more than one way to do it, but it's an attraction or deflection. I think it's more of attraction. You're dragging a piece to another square. The simple winning maneuver is to bring the black queen to the back rank. It looks like a move you can't play, but remember, the rook on c8 was defending c1. So now what black has is black has a double attack on this rook. Black is threatening to play either rook takes rook or queen takes rook. White doesn't have time to pick up the queen because he loses the game. See the irony? That's why you needed a pawn up on h3. So what's poor white to do? Let me show you the other two ways to do it. Queen d8 or queen e8. Either one of those does it. So the best that white can come up with is to play rook takes and be faced with a losing position. Even though he gets a pawn with check, black is for choice here, okay? This is a winning game for black. All right? So black missed a win, white allowed a win, and black missed it. Black could have maybe won both games. Instead, black didn't see the trick and played rook takes c8. And now the game is close to even. Even though white has that extra pawn, he doesn't have those extra pieces, those extra rooks on the board. And black should have good resources. Here he's attacking that weakness, protecting this, and white offers a queen trade. So, looks like white's for choice. But now white can't play d5 without losing back his pawn. So white gets aggressive, and black gets aggressive. Hey, I'm going to threaten a mate. Now here maybe is a time to push the rook pawn up, but I don't think it's enough because queen c1 check, king h2, queen f4 check. But white pushes the g pawn instead, and we end up with a draw by repetition. White just didn't have enough going for him with the rooks off the board. So there you have it. Both of you are guilty as charged, moving your rook pawns. You need to stop. Okay, they're not doing you any good. And other than that, I think your play is reasonable. So don't think I'm picking on you too much. I'm not trying to pick on you guys directly. It's happening in so many games this team match. It's just incredible how much I'm seeing this, and I'm trying to get you guys to stop it. And I've gotten a lot of you to stop it, and I won't stop until I get everyone to stop it. That means an eternity, huh? All right. Thanks so much for your time. We'll make another video soon. Take care.